who's ever really loved me.
Don't speak to her like that!
Stop it!
Excuse me? You owe her an apology. For what? The truth?
Stop!
Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see in the title, this is my review of episode 7 of the Wheel of Time series on Prime. Yeah, this was the second to last episode. The last episode will be coming out next week, December, what would it be? My math, December, I don't even know what today is. It's 16th, right? Yeah, so math, 23rd. Yeah, so the Christmas Eve, the season finale will come out. I can't wait, because this episode, leading into my spoiler free and then spoilers after, so spoiler free people who have never watched the show, actually, you kind of, like, if you haven't watched the show and whatever, it won't make sense, but I won't try to spoil anything. In this episode, I really enjoyed it. It was very just talk, explain, fight. That, like, not fighting, but fight in your words. This episode was very talkative, and I didn't find there was that much, fighting, like, with swords and stuff, other than, the very start, and then the flashback scenes. Which I won't spoil. I'll talk about in spoilers. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this episode, even though it was very talkative. I love the setting and the costumes. Yeah, I wrote this down in my notes. The costumes, I haven't mentioned this before in any of my previous reviews, but the costumes are insanely good. Whoever did the costume design should get a raise. These costumes are insane. Other than Loyal, I think his could need some work. Everyone else is perfect. All the characters in this episode, perfect. I love the costume design, and I couldn't imagine any other clothing or any other designs. The settings is very, or the whatever you call them. What did I write in my notes? I'm stalling. The sets. Sets are very well done. Like, they actually put time into actually making the sets. Like in episode 3 or 2, that will make sense. There's like a huge set that was only in there for 20 minutes, and even in this episode 7, there's a huge castle kind of thing, and it looks completely real, and they actually put the time into making it, and you can really tell that it's real. It's a real set, and it looks amazing. Yeah, just there's so many good practical sets that look amazing, and yeah, just the setting is a very good tone setter and is very good. The characters, very good. The acting in this episode was one of the best episodes, acting wise. I thought everyone really had a very emotional scene, especially the Emmons Field 5. Yeah, just the acting is insane, and I think that will end my spoiler free there. I don't want to rank the episodes, because I honestly will have to rewatch all of them to really rank them, because I kind of forget the first ones that came out like 2 months ago. So yeah, so I'll go into spoilers now. So if you have not watched the show, go watch it and then come back. So yeah, spoilers. I will go in chronological order in my notes, and I'll pretty much explain what happened in the episode while giving my takes on what happened. So, the cold open that people call it is a pregnant Aiel who kicks some soldier butt, who has some capes on, which kind of dumb. Who, like, she drags the guy on the cape, and you see that trailer shot, which is perfect. And I didn't actually see in the trailer if the woman or the Aiel was pregnant, so that's interesting. And we soon find out that. Actually, no, I'll leave that to later. Actually, yeah, I'll leave that to later. So yeah, the Aiel kicks some butt, and she's pregnant, and yeah, pretty cool. I thought that was insane. And you get some flashbacks to the Aiel War and dragon mounts, and yeah, pretty cool. Then it's followed by the amazing title sequence. Probably one of the best title sequences I've ever seen. I love that title sequence. And then we go back to the way the episode ended, with the Emmons Field kids wanting to open the Waygate for Matt to come back in. And I wish he came. I still wish that Matt came, but like I said in my episode 6 review, I understand why they couldn't get Matt to come, because they don't have an actor. Barney Harris had to go for some reasons. So it's sad seeing Matt not gonna be able, or he's not gonna be in the last 2 episodes, or he wasn't in this episode. So he's not gonna be in the last episode, I'm assuming. I don't really think he's gonna be in the last episode, but we'll see him with a different actor in season 2. Then the group decides to go on. They can't really do anything, so they go on, and then they get to this damaged kind of sign that tells you which path to go down, and Loyal takes some time reading it. Then they take a nap, and there's some phenomenal acting at this point. Rand puts his arm around Egwene, and then they hug, and then they fall asleep. And there's a shot of Perrin looking at them, and you don't have to even question what he's thinking. He's thinking of wishing his wife was still there, and you can see all the emotion in his eyes. You can see what he's telling you exactly what he's thinking. And I love the actor of Perrin, Marcus Rutherford, is insane. His emotion is insane. I think he's my favorite character, favorite acting portrayal, and overall favorite character of the series so far. His performance is amazing, and his facial expressions is very, very well done. Then some dark friends wake them up, and from their sleeping time, then they start running, which I don't really think I caught this, because maybe I was writing down some notes, but I think they just picked a path to go down, maybe. Anyway, Egwene, Nynaeve, I think, or is it just I think Nynaeve, they then go run down a certain path. I don't know if they guessed or Loyal knew. Then this strange wind that I think I've never seen before, ever in the book series so far. And it's this wind, maybe it was I can't remember if it was in the first book, but wind hits them, and they all think of something sad, depressing, or something that makes them mad, or just a nagging thought in their head, which is more than nagging. And it drives not Rand insane, but he really gets really sad. Like, he's crying when he, or he's not crying, he's teared up when he gets into the Waygate. So they then run out. Nynaeve, before that, shows some epic weaving powers, and then they come out of the Waygate, and they are in Fal Dara. And again, like I said, the sets are insane. This desert castle of Fal Dara looks beautiful. I did imagine when I read it a bit more trees. I don't know why. I also thought it to be a little smaller and like gated. It was gated, but just because like the way it started, the book 2. But actually, now that I'm thinking, I think I imagined it wrong, because it's in the the borderlands of the Blight. So I think that it would just be like a desert space. Anyway, I imagine more trees. And again, like I mentioned in spoiler free, the costume designing is perfect. The Fal Dara King, or I don't know, Emperor, whatever. I don't really know his title. His like eagle on the back of his robes or whatever was like amazing. Like, the art was amazing on the back, and you can really tell that the costume design put everything they got, and every single detail was perfected on the costumes, as well with like the Aes Sedai clothing, and even with the Emond's Field 5, it's so simple, but yet it's like it fits them. Other than Loyal, who I said spoiler free, he's not there yet. He's not there yet. Like, if you search up Loyal fan art, he has bigger ears, not that much curly hair, not a beard, or not a goatee or anything. So maybe they need a little changing with him. But if they don't, it doesn't matter, because again, Loyal's performance, or the actor's performance, is amazing. I love the performance from him, his name is escaping me at the moment. Then I wrote down the sets were insane, which I already said. Then you have a behind shot of the Waygates that they came out of, and you see a guy with elf shoes coming out, and that is, of course, Perrin says it later, that is Padon Fane. So later, Perrin's like, is that Padon Fane? And you see a clear shot of his face that is Padon Fane, and you can see that they're setting up things to adapt the second book. That is not a spoiler. They're setting up things. They're setting up things that will be in the second season, which is pretty cool. Which did I say next? Then they go into this bar, the four of the Nynaeve, Egwene, Perrin, and Rand. And then Moiraine goes up to the bartender, who is, if you turn subtitles on, it is Min, which they say later in the episode, but I found out right away because it subtitles said Min, and then she starts talking. It's pretty cool that we see Min, because I don't think she was a bartender in Fal Dara. If my memory is trustworthy. I think they met her somewhere else. I can't remember though. So we see her powers, how she can see the future. They're a little different from the book, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, because the way book 3 starts, there's Perrin and Min talking in book 3 of the Wheel of Time, and they have a conversation. I think that's when we first learned about her powers, or her weaving Aes Sedai powers, and in the show they're a little different. There's then this very emotional scene in the bedroom. I mean, that sounds bad. With Rand, Egwene, Nynaeve, and Perrin. They're in a bedroom, but it's not. They're fighting. And Rand yells at Egwene for saying that she doesn't care about Mat, and then Rand yells at Perrin, which is like, wow, Perrin didn't even do anything, and Rand yells at Perrin because Perrin just was defending Egwene, because Perrin obviously doesn't like people fighting, and Rand yells at Perrin and says like Perrin loves Egwene, and I honestly, I kind of teared up because you never see them fighting, and they're best friends, and they've been best friends for their whole life. So it's so it hurts when they're friends and they're yelling and they're mad at each other, and Perrin and Rand were right up against each other with the angriest faces on, and they're just they're just so angry at each other. I'm just please stop. And again, this is another example of the incredible acting of when Rand accuses Perrin of loving Egwene, and the tension is amazing. And the acting is phenomenal in this scene. The Perrin's expressions and anger you can see from a mile away. So is Rand and Egwene and Nynaeve. Their acting is so good. Then next we go to Nynaeve and Lan have their first kiss, which is pretty fast, which I don't really mind, because in the book I don't think they even had their kiss yet, and I'm on book 4, so it's I like how they're getting to the point, and and then right after we have a back-to-back Rand and Egwene kiss and make up for yelling at each other, and then Rand. Very heartfelt scene. Rand says to Egwene, "I will be your warder," and Rand finally accepts Egwene wanting to be an Aes Sedai. Then Rand gets thoughts of himself, of himself, like his own thoughts, and then the wind, back in the Waygate, there's a flashback scene that tells us that the Waygate was actually telling him that he was the Dragon Reborn. And he gets thoughts of himself am I the Dragon Reborn? He goes to Min, and Min tells him the origin of his own birth from back to the cold open, that he is the baby of the Aiel who's having birth, and his dad was one of the soldiers that was going to kill his birth mom, and the soldier took Rand and is his father, went back to Emond's Field, and so we see Rand's birth origin, and he finally accepts that he is the Dragon Reborn. So Rand goes to Moiraine and says, "I am the Dragon Reborn," and she takes him alone to the Blight to fight the Dark One. And that's how the episode ended. Again, another fantastic episode. I loved it. Not exactly accurate to the book, but I don't mind that one slightest. I quite enjoyed this episode, and yeah, quite enjoyed it. And I can't wait for the last episode, because I said in my previous review that there's gonna be some action in this one, and there wasn't. So there's gonna be an action-packed episode next. There has to be. Can't wait to watch that and then review that. So thanks for watching. This has been my review of episode 7 of the Wheel of Time series on Amazon Prime. Check back next Friday for my review of the season finale. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.